Hello, everyone. My name is Rosemary Savino. I'm Chief Operating Officer of the Association for Enterprise Growth, or AEG. I'm here today at the Gov AI Summit with Will Layton, SVP for Public Sector for the software company Senzing. We'll be talking today about Senzing. So, Will, can you get us started with a little bit about the company, what you do, and we'll take it from there.
Yes, Senzing is a software company that we sell programmatic entity resolution. We sell it to the public sector, we sell it to commercial businesses, and I run global sales and public sector. And we've been in business since 2016.
Awesome. So, what is data or entity resolution? Like for those of us who don't live in it every day.
It's a very common question. Most people, unless you're a data scientist, you wouldn't know what entity resolution is necessarily. Turns out entities, what are entities? Entities are people, companies, vehicles, vessels. Mm-hmm. And when you have attributes that describe, there's 256 things that can describe a person. We take all the data on an entity, in this case attributes, and we do what's called entity resolution or fuzzy matching. So we're gonna merge Will Layton and William Layton if I have other attributes that show that Will and William are actually the same person. And we also want to find that when Will Layton in New York and Will Layton in Texas aren't the same person, we want to keep them apart. So that's a big part of any resolution, is getting the ones that are correct matched, but don't overmatch. And that's a big part of what Senzing's real-time engine does.
That is awesome. So since we're here at a Gov AI Summit, can you tell us a little bit about how that is critical for AI projects?
Yeah, so I would put it almost like a data cleansing experience. Because the best example I could use is PPP loan data. In the case of PPP loan data, it's public data. They released it on you see 6 loans that are given to 6 people. But when you do entity resolution on that data, it turns out it's one person getting 6 loans, which now you have a problem. Well, in this case, when you're cleaning your data and you're putting it through resolution, before you do your AI work, whatever models you're going to run, wouldn't it be really important to know these 6 things all happen by one person as opposed to 6 different people? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense, and it's a great illustration of a use case. Do you have something? You mentioned entities, so ships, companies, that sort of thing. Is there another use case you can share with us?
Oh, I've got many. So in the case for the U.S. government, we are actually helping find packages coming into the U.S. that forced labor, because we don't want those products coming in, and the companies in China that produce these, they try to obfuscate who they are, and our software, we have a part of our software is called NORA, non-obvious relationship aware, where we're actually finding these hidden gems in data so that we can find those packages. You could also say that, like in citizenship and immigration, when law firms are filling out forms for people to get benefits, we vet the law firms so that we're looking for fraud in that case. And again, it's an entity resolution problem because you're bringing disparate data together to understand the entity. In this case, it's law firms filling out forms for benefits.
So you're talking a lot about fraud prevention, a lot about clean data. Are you using public sources of data? Are you using quarantine data? What kind of data are you using?
It's a great question. So first off, Senzing is a software company. And the first thing, we run our software, or we don't run the software for our customers. They run it, they can run it on the high side, the low side, they can run it in the cloud, air-gapped, on-prem, whatever. When they get our software, they can then load whatever data they want. A lot of our customers will take third-party data like a Dun & Bradstreet or a SAR Analytics or a Bloomberg, and they'll merge it with their data, because when you do that, you get much better insights, because you're building personas and you can see about whatever it is you're doing analytics on.
That's fascinating. What else is unique about Senzing's approach?
Well, when it comes to the world of entity resolution, this is something that's been around a long time. Sensing is on basically their sixth generation engine. It's real time. It's really a developer's toolkit. So instead of being a full stack product, we're just an engine. And so you can deploy it in other products, in other workflows, and that's typically what our public sector customers do. That's very differentiated as well. I will say that the cool part about our software is it's very sticky. People put data in the engine, they love the results, and they find other use cases for it as we have success with different use cases.
So you've got a great view of not just public sector, but global use of your software product. Is there something particularly unique about public sector that you find that's different from either commercial or global?
Again, a great question. What I would say there's two things. On the commercial side, we tend to partner with OEM partners that have a full solution, visualization, and other things that come on top of ER, and that's where we work in money laundering and other financial crimes in financial services. But also on the public sector side, we find that a lot of times the government has contracted for people to try to build their own. And it's very costly, and it's real expensive, and it's kind of like just throwing more money after more money, where Sensing, you could download our software and be using it this week. And we price it very affordably, and that's really what we see as a big difference in public sector for sure.
Awesome. So just to wrap us up, what is the one thing you would like people to know about Sensing from a government, GovCon, public sector, AI perspective?
Well, we find more and more workloads in the government where entity resolution has come up. In fact, at this event, we've seen opportunities at lots of different civilian agencies. Most of Sensing's implementations, not all, but quite a few, are in the U.S. intelligence community and DoD and DHS. But now we're reaching into other civilian agencies. So it really comes down to when you see that you have a software problem that involves entity resolution, one, either reach out to us, or that we also have a buyer's guide that we have published that you can use and understand what it would take to build it as opposed to buy it, because we think it's a slam dunk to do it with entity resolution with Sensing software.
That's awesome. I know the one thing we've heard repeatedly here in the last day and a half at the conference is that data resolution is really an underpinning of how we're going to make sure AI functions for everybody. So I love hearing how Sensing's really attacking that problem. Thanks so much, Will.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.